Another week, another day. I've got all week in the workshop, so I'm super happy. And yeah, let's get moving on, shall we? Ideal, this is video 5, I think, or 5. Gets a bit tricky when I start running out of fingers. Next stage is gonna get our input jack drilled in. And once I've done that, I'm gonna go and do a bit of painting, which I'll whiz through. We'll do some clippy clips and all that shit and some music for the painting. Don't learn your painting from me. There is an interesting painting video coming up. Stay tuned for that. But it's probably gonna be a video where I just make catastrophic error after catastrophic error, because that's what happens when I paint things. So where's my input jack gonna go? It's gonna go here, here. It's been nice doing this guitar because it's not recreating someone else's guitar, and I haven't got any I knows texting, oh, that bridge is wrong, oh, you should have used this.
That's not right.
This is my design, isn't it? I'll do whatever I want. I'm only playing. I love an I know. Just sometimes about 50 people comment the same thing because you don't read other people's comments, and I like to respond to every comment, and I end up saying the same thing over and over again. So I'm addressing that now. If you've got a valid point about something I've missed, read other people's comments, talk amongst yourselves. But be friendly, no one likes a cunt.
Damn!
So nice simple bit. Input jack needs to be, I'm gonna sink this right in. I don't like that raised. Well, I don't know, let's have a little look at what it looks like, shall we? 22.7, so I need a 22mm drill bit. Now this is where it gets really complicated. I'm gonna put that where I want it, and I'm gonna mark an O, and I'm gonna go, yeah, that'll do. There, let's go in there. That was technical, wasn't it? My God, Paul, you're a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard, Harry. Cool, that's a tricky one, isn't it? I don't know if I can get in there. I might have to go in the bottom. I'm gonna have to go in the bottom. I can't get a drill in there. Can't go at an angle. So we're gonna go in the bottom.
I'm touching myself tonight.
Oh, that actually fits fine like that. I'm just gonna leave that one proud, I think. What do you think? Nah, let's step it in. Yeah, that's better. That's better, isn't it? It's lovely and flat, flush, lovely. Touchy, touchy. What? Couple of quick holes for me pots. We've got a stacked pot. Stacked! Controversial. And it's not got a particularly long shaft. Steady. In fact, it really hasn't got a particularly long shaft. So we're gonna have to do something about that, aren't we? Right, I'm gonna have to gingerly countersink this so that I can get a protruding shaft. Right, that's it. Everything's mounted, everything's done, everything's... Stand back, Paul, fucking hell. Everything's ready. Double stack pot, switch, going in line with the body, because that's just felt right. Bridge is on there. Output jack's in the bottom. Everything's done in our cavity there. So I'm gonna, off camera now, I'm just gonna paint all my cavities black on the guitar. Steady. And I'm gonna take this down to paint. In the meantime, let's move on with the next, shall we? Right, next phase is going to be a little bit interesting because I'm going to use some stainless steel frets, which I've never used before. So keep your fingers and your ass cheeks crossed. StewMac stainless steel fret wire. I'll just tap one in and see how we get on. So here's the issue with StewMac fret wire. The tang is tiny. The thickness is fine, but it's not very deep. It doesn't bite into the wood very aggressively. So I've found that with this stuff, every time I've got to glue it. So we're gonna have to glue this one as well. We'll whiz through it. All right, bit of speedy uppy and all the rest of it, because you've all seen 1,000 fret jobs, and we'll see how we get on. I'll stop and pause and do a little bit of yapping when it comes to sanding it and working the frets and polishing them back up, because I've never done stainless, and if you've never done stainless, it's a little bit terrifying. I don't mind admitting. Right, I've pressed the frets in, I've super glued them in, we've used the press, everything's gone rather swimmingly. They all look like they're seated rather pleasantly. Now let's figure out how much of a bastard they are to file flat, because it doesn't matter how good your fret pressing is, you've still got to do some filing. Right, on with the fret job now. There's a few things a little bit different on this one. I bought a new StewMac Z file, the curved one, so we can have curved frets. I also use my little teeny tiny fret end dresser from StewMac, overpriced but rather pretty. I'm glad I've got the good tools on this job because we've got stainless steel frets. Now I've pressed them in, I've glued them in, I can't remember how much I filmed because it was the other day. I've got my neck set up, I've got it all set up nice and flat. I will make a video on how to make the neck jig at some point, I know, right? No one watches jig videos, but I'll do it for the 4 of you that want to see it. I know it's important. I also don't go into a massive amount of detail when it comes to doing fret jobs, because really, if you want to learn how to do fret jobs, watch fret job videos. They are more boring than the videos I want to make. All right? I want to be a bit of a twat on the internet and just have a laugh with you, really, and just make you feel relaxed about having a crack yourself. But frets, there's a lot to learn. You'll make a few mistakes. Watch lots of fret job videos. I'm assuming the people that really want to know how to do frets, they're going to sit through the boring videos. You need to. So, first of all, we check on here, have a listen. We've got a rocker. It doesn't matter how well you press your frets in, you're going to get some massive rockers. Don't panic, all right? Fret wire in itself and the way it's manufactured is not perfect. So even if everything is seated nicely, I've glued it all in, everything is radius, it all looks lovely, you're still gonna get cheeky rockers. The Gibson factory on the lower end Gibsons, and when I say lower end and Fender, lower end, under 1,500 quid, humans don't touch the frets. That's why you get high and low frets on those guitars, all right? Because fret wire is not perfect. This is StewMac fret wire. Never used the stainless stuff. So let's have a little look at it, shall we? First thing I'm going to do is just red up the top of my frets. You should mask up your fretboard. I'm not going to bother because I'm lazy. Bear in mind, if I get one bit of red pen on this fretboard, it is going to be a nightmare to get off. I might come a cropper with that fret file because it does medium frets, medium and large. And this stuff is vintage spec. I think it's narrow tall. I'll file my last fret first and just see what that does for me. So just out of interest, this is what I'm using. StewMac fret wire. Not particularly big tang, quite a narrow fret wire. This is Guyker pre-radius, which I would recommend getting. I've got a winder over there. I've got a winder. It's crap. It doesn't give you a consistent bend. It's a bit shit. Even the more expensive ones are not great. If you get pre-radius stuff from the manufacturer, that's fine. You'll see that the Guyker gear has got a much bigger, better tang. I mean, it's way bigger fret wire. Hopefully the camera can pick that up. It's way better. Have a bit of energy pull. Guyker's better. I'm trying to buy a massive ton of that with me mate James Yard, but I've got to spend £1,000 on fret wire to get it shipped over from the States.
Jesus.
So I'm not rushing for that one. I've got enough to make about 50 guitars a year, but it'd be a nice little treat, wouldn't it? Right, let's have a little look at how bad it is. Right, I think I'm there on that. All my pen is gone. I'm gonna re-red up the tops and we'll try out the new rounding off file. I'm 43 and the highlight of the excitement in my life this week is trying out a new file. Fucking yes. Right, so I've got my frets leveled, crowned, Sanded up to 800 grit. I'm not going to do any more work on them because as you can see, everything that you sand off, this limber is so soft and porous, it all ends up in there. It does sand out and you can clean it up. But after taking so much time to get this fretboard flat and level and beautiful, I don't want to be sanding big divots in it. So before I do anything else to the fret wire, I'm going to profile the back quickly. We'll bung it in the jig. We'll get everything shaped and get it all feeling nice. I'm going to spend a couple of hours sanding probably, sadly. And then we'll take it down and get some clear coat on. Let's crack on. Now I've got the neck, pretty much that jig only gets you most of the way there. Now we've got to go manual. Let's get the chisels out. Just a quick announcement, this year there is a Christmas special. Christmas Eve, yes. Christmas Day, yes. And Boxing Day. Now, if you're an American and you don't do Boxing Day, over here, the rich people used to, the day after Christmas, they would give presents to the peasants that worked and cleaned their dishes and cut their grass. And that was called Boxing Day. They would box up some old shit that they didn't want and they'd give it to the scabs. So we still do Boxing Day. So Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. 3 p.m. GMT. Don't watch it when your kids are awake because I'm particularly brutal and yeah, the humour is dark. It's very dark. I'm counting on most of you being pissed. So tune in for that one. Right, so we're learning as we go on this one. Limber is a weird wood. Very, very soft. Very light, which is why I chose it. I love the colour. All right, it's like a dirtier maple. I thought that would suit this guitar, but that is a very, very light bit of wood. Sanding it and carving it is a joy, a bit too much of a joy. So much of a joy, it's become a bit of a worry. So let's see how we get on with this. A couple little jobs I haven't done, which I'm sure you're screaming at the screens. Ah, side dots. I know, I haven't put any side dots in yet. So we're gonna pop them in now quickly. And I've also, before I start finishing, I'm gonna cut the channel for me nut. So I'm ready to go with that. I'm going to sanding sealer it, 2 coats, right over all the frets. We'll polish all that off after. I think you can score it off. I've seen Ben Crow do that before. Score the finish off. Someone suggested masking up the frets. I don't think that's the way to go. We're going to do that and we're just going to carefully score it off and see how we get on. Maple necks are always a bit of a bastard, or light coloured necks are always a bit of a bastard because everything you do is on show. Let's get the nut chopped in first, shall we? One job done. Side dots are just going to be black Chinesium. Black Chinesium. 2 mil. 2 mil, so it is. Alright, so I've marked my little lines here. I'll just find the centres of them now. Just find the centres. This job would have been a lot easier to do before I'd done everything else, but I'll be honest, I forgot. And there you go. We've got a nut slot. We're all in, ready to go. We're pretty much sanded. I'm going to do a little bit more sanding off camera because I've just seen a couple of marks. Nothing mental. You've only got a fart near this and it's marked up. And we've also got some side dots in. You see them in the light? See them in the light, see them in the light. Here we go. Side dots, got some side dots. Skunk stripe didn't fuck me this time. That's always a nice one. And it's round.
One eternity later.
Right, I'm off to Fritzl's. I'm not having a lot of fun. I'm not going to buy a Poplar body blank again. Poplar can do one as far as I'm concerned. It's a nightmare to seal and paint. I'll show you the results when I come back up. Shh, let's not wake up Uncle Fritzo.
I'm so scared right now.
Hello, Rose. Still learning after a year of doing YouTube. We've got everything built. I had some disasters with this because this body is made of poplar, which is an anagram of piece of shit. Don't buy poplar body blanks. They're a nightmare. Very cheap, nightmare to paint. There is a process to sealing them that I just don't know. I have contacted someone who's immense at painting, does some amazing, I won't reveal it because they might ignore me. You can learn to make consistently beautiful playing guitars. That's not the issue. Painting is my nemesis.
You surprise me to how shit you are.
Painting is an absolute prick. It's really hard, but I want to be good at it. That is my mission for 2025, to create some masterpiece paints. And I'm going to get some tuition from people that fucking know what they're doing. This guitar is all finished. The epoxy top, that's the easy bit. That finishes lovely, it shines up. The bottom, I'll show you what happened last time. I love relic finishes, I do. It's really hard to do because you have to be able to finish guitars well and then relic them well. It's almost two skills, and I'm shit at both. For all my sins, you can hate me. I'm one of the people that's driving the relic industry because I really like them. Old knackered guitars look lovely and they need a big cuddle. And that just appeals to me. So I have reliced this guitar, but only very lightly. Just very lightly reliced it. So I didn't go all Gilmore. I've just put a few very gentle marks in, just some light playwear that I actually think's better than my Gilmore effort. It is better. That is an improvement. I'd say it's 50% better. And yeah, I am happier with that. I did always have relic in mind because this is a Warlock Gothic guitar. It's gnarly, it's evil, it's nasty, and I wanted a bit of that. He's gone in very nice, very glossy. My bats look nice, my side dots, my skunk stripe. The neck is marvellous. This whole guitar is the lightest guitar I've ever made. Poplar body, limber neck is very, very light. I'm sure at this point you're starting to think, has he clickbaited us? What the fuck's gone wrong? We have had a catastrophic error. And I said I'd share the cock-ups for you. The whole remit for this guitar for me was weight. I wanted to make a super light guitar. Poplar body was a simple choice. Pain in the ass to paint. That's fair enough. Dried me eyes. Got over that. Went for a limber neck. A white limber neck. Very, very light. I mean, just super light. It's just stupid light. It was a worry, and I did say, it's a worry. Do you want to see what happened? I've put some little strummy chords when I was testing it in the workshop the other day. It was fine, lovely. Still in tune now, which is fucked up. However, this happened. Can you see that? The limber is actually given way and busted out where the truss rod end is. The glue joint's not gone. That's all fine. The limber itself is just torn away, either side of it. The neck was quite thin. I might have pushed it, but I mean, let's be honest, the difference between a thick neck and a thin neck is a mil or so. It's not that big a difference. This guitar naturally is not going to leave the shop like this. I've got to bin that neck. I'm never going to make a limber neck again. I'm going to use that stock for some other little projects. And I'm going to have to remake the neck. I'm not going to film it. This is going out for Christmas for someone. So I've got plenty of time. It's still November. We've got a guitar that looks and feels amazing. Really, really good. I changed it, I went down to volume only. We've gone a bit Jim Roots on the bot because the stacked pot I had was shit, didn't really work, overcomplicated it for a young learner. Volume only, which actually works really nice because the neck pickup in this is really creamy, bridge is really angry. Everything went well, we just had a failure. So that is the end of this series. I'm going to take this guitar apart now, I'm going to strip it down. I'm probably going to refinish the black again. And I'm going to make a new neck out of maple, which I recommend that you do. Don't make it out of white limber. Come back next week because the guitar I'm making is astounding. I've almost finished it. It's absolutely astounding. It's completely bonkers and it's very, very cool. I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching this series. You are all greatly appreciated. Make sure you comment below and I'll see you for the next project. The thumbnails for the next project are absolute dirt. See ya.